What's going on, YouTube? It's your boy Max. Today I'm going to be talking about how to build a physique that women cannot resist. Now, if you clicked on this video thinking I'm going to give you guys some sort of workout plan, some sort of nutrition plan that you can follow, and you're going to get the dream physique that you always wanted, and women are just going to come flocking your way, I would be doing you a disservice if I did that. And the truth is that women love a nice physique, but not for the reason that you think. You see, I got into the best shape of my life, and I have a dating life of abundance with the woman that I want. But it's not necessarily because of the physique. It's actually the man that I became behind building this physique. So I just hit a park workout, okay? It's 90 degrees in New York, scorching hot, right? The sun is beaming, okay? I was in the park doing some calisthenics. I did 100 pull-ups, 100 dips, 100 push-ups, some leg raises. Nothing too crazy, right? But I did it in this heat. I did it with no water. And you may be thinking, why would you do that, Max? Why would you do this difficult workout in the sun that may or may not even stimulate much muscle growth? Why not just go to the gym under the AC, get under some machines, train till failure, right? Put on some light weights, train till failure, and actually build an aesthetic physique. Well, here's the thing, bro. That type of mindset is exactly why maybe you've built a decent physique for yourself already, but you still can't attract the woman that you want. You see, women are visual creatures, yes, but not as much as men are. You see, when a woman sees a guy who's in great shape, does it turn her on 100%? But if that man who's in great shape, if the moment he speaks, if he's not confident, if he doesn't have the confident body language, if he can't hold eye contact with a woman, if he doesn't have the proper leadership skills, the proper character to actually lead this woman and to escalate with her, well, then none of that even matters. The physique does not matter at all, right? Because the physique is just an external representation of what should be in your internal mind, right? It's just a manifestation of what's going on in your mind. But there's so many guys who they get into the gym with the sole mission of, oh, let me become more attractive. Yeah. And for the longest time, guys, that was me. You see, up until sophomore year of high school, I was getting rejected by every single girl that I've liked until that point. And there was a moment where I got sick and tired of it, and I thought, hey, listen, maybe if I go to the gym, and I got a gym membership. This was like around 2016, my first time in the gym. I got a gym membership, and I was like, hey, maybe if I just put on some muscle, I get in some better shape, oh, women are going to give me more attention. And it worked to an extent, right? I did some looks maxing as well. I improved my hair, I improved my looks, and it worked to an extent. I was getting the attention from women, but all of this validation that I was getting from women out of nowhere, because I didn't build the internal habits, I wasn't actually aligned with the man who's capable of just staying disciplined, staying hardworking, regardless if I'm going to get attention from women or not. I didn't focus on any of that stuff. I was just worried about how can I get women to like me? How can I get women to like me? That's all that was on my mind. As a result, women found me attractive, yes, but I wasn't disciplined enough to be able to hold boundaries with certain women. I wasn't disciplined enough to not cheat on my girlfriend of 3 years. And as a result, I was in that situation. I had a girlfriend of 3 years. I'm not going to get too much into the story. I've talked about the story on my channel before, but essentially this was the most attractive girl I've ever been with up until that point. She treated me the very best. She was one of the best looking girls in school. But because my confidence was completely built on getting validation from women, the moment other options came along, even if they weren't better looking than my girl, even if they didn't treat me better than my girl, I cheated on her, sabotaged the relationship, and when that relationship was over, when we broke up, I was left with this huge void inside of me, and I hit my rock bottom. I got deeper into my vices. I started smoking more. I started beating off like 10 times a day. I was addicted to pornography, right? I became socially awkward. I stopped grooming myself completely, right? I stopped taking care of my looks. I stopped hitting the gym. Everything because my entire foundation was built upon attracting women. And that type of foundation is very weak. That type of foundation for self-improvement is very weak. And so the moment you don't get that validation from the woman you want, the foundation crumbles, right? And so if you clicked on this video, once again, thinking that I'm going to give you a workout plan, a nutrition plan to become more attractive, you need to understand that you can train in almost any sort of way and build a nice physique. You can train like a bodybuilder. You can train like an athlete. You can do fucking calisthenics. You could do weighted calisthenics. You could do keto. You could eat carnivore. All of these different diets work. All of these different training programs work. But what is your reason behind doing it? Because when it's how can I attract women, then you're always going to pick the option that puts you in the most comfortable state. And it's like, I know so many guys like this. So many guys who have great physiques, but their sole intention of being in the gym, of training in general, is because they want to attract girls. And so that's why they pick the most comfortable option of doing so, which is usually going inside the gym. AC is blasting, right? Music is playing in their ears. They're full of pre-workout. They're taking all of these different supplements just to have some energy to go to the gym. They can't go to the gym without it, right? They constantly need stimulation, right? They're sitting back in a little machine, right? All comfortable, scrolling on the phone in one hand, pushing the machine in another. And yeah, you might stimulate some muscle growth, right? You can build a great physique maybe with machines, but you won't build the man behind it. And that's the most important part about attracting women. You want to attract women, you better create the man behind it. You better create the man that's capable of leading and retaining these women. Because who wants to just attract a girl and then lose her? Who wants to just attract a girl and not be able to escalate with her? If you clicked on this video, if you're someone who watches my channel consistently, chances are that's not you. Chances are you actually want to be able to attract women who are high quality, who look good, who have great personalities, who have great character, and you want to be able to escalate with them to get your way, to have a woman who follows your program, and to just keep this woman in your life, especially if she's someone who's valuable to you. But I'm telling you right now, bro, if you always choose the most comfortable option, the path of least resistance to become more attractive, you're never going to build the internal identity that's necessary of keeping these women in your life. And so, yeah, I could have went to the gym today. I would have been comfortable. The AC would have been blasting. I wouldn't have to deal with the heat. I wouldn't have to deal with the dehydration, right? I would have had the music. I would have had my phone. I would have had like my friends in the gym, my gym bros. I would have had some eye candy even to look at in the gym. All of these things can help out. All of these things can be extra motivation. Sure, they can be. How much longer do you want to stay in your comfort zone? You see, when you train in a way that pushes you outside of your comfort zone, and this is why I love like things like outdoor workouts, even running, like weighted calisthenics, you have to switch it up. Don't get me wrong. Majority of the time I am in the gym, but even when I'm in the gym, I'm not doing machines. I'm doing weighted calisthenics. I'm doing kettlebell circuits. I'm actually pushing myself like past my physical and mental failure. A lot of people, they train for physical failure, but they don't train for mental failure. Because the mental, that in order to reach a mental failure, it's almost impossible. It's almost impossible because your mind is a lot stronger than you think it is. You just have to go to that dark place inside of your mind, and a lot of people are just not willing to go. As soon as their muscles give out, oh, they give up on the rep, they give up on the set, they pack their bags, they go home. But when you're doing intense work, things like kettlebell circuits, things like endurance training, things like just working out in conditions that you're not used to, whether it's in the rain, right, in the heat, in the cold, right, in the snow, whatever it is, you have to be able to switch it up. If you constantly train under this one environment where all the conditions are the same, consistent, right, all the conditions are consistent, all the conditions are favorable for you, you're never going to build the mindset, bro. You're never going to build the mindset. Take a look at fighters who train in fight camp, right? These guys, they push themselves. They go on these crazy runs in the cold, in the heat. Doesn't matter. They train outside, right? They do all of these crazy things. Is it because that's going to make them a better fighter physically? That's going to improve their fighting skills? No. That's not what it is. That's just going to build the fighter mentality. That's going to allow them to keep going that extra round in the fight, even when they don't want to. Even when they don't want to. Even when everything is telling them, yo, bro, you lost the fight. Or, oh, you're losing the fight. They have a strong mindset now because of the training they did in fight camp. Not through just the physical things they did, but the fact that they push themselves past that mental failure. And if you're not doing this consistently when you're training, well then, you're never going to have the physique that can actually attract and retain the woman in your life. When you train in this way, guys, that I'm talking about, when you do the weighted calisthenics, so I do 50% of my workout right from the beginning is heavy weighted calisthenics. Then I'll move on to 25% of my workout is going to be a kettlebell workout, right? It could be strength-based, it could be endurance-based, depends on what my goals for the day are. And then the rest of the 25%, right? 15% are going to be machines, 10% are going to be cables, or vice versa. I do the accessory work, I do the comfortable work, but I leave it to the very end when I'm already exhausted, right? And when I train in this way, guys, not only do I build a crazy physique, not only do I build this superhero looking physique, in all humbleness, guys, like I have one of the best physiques in the gym. And it's not because I'm anything special, not because I have crazy genetics. In fact, I don't. Like, I only eat about 2 meals a day. Right now, my nutrition plan, like my diet plan, is completely just optimized for work, for business, for like mental clarity, like mental performance. I'm not even too worried about my physical performance right now, right? I fast for most of the day. And yeah, I still have a better physique than these guys. And it's because I'm willing to go to that dark place inside of my mind. So not only does this give me an aesthetic and attractive physique, but it builds the man behind the physique that's capable of leading the woman I want, retaining them in my life, and just becoming the man who has respect for himself, because I know I show up for myself. I know I push myself past my limits. But that's all I got for this video, guys. Like, every single time you train, ask yourself, how far can I go? Not just physically, but mentally. How can I switch up this workout today? What conditions how can I forcibly make this workout more uncomfortable? Get outside of your comfort zone, guys. That's the best way. But I'll see you boys real soon. Make sure to leave a like, subscribe if you found this video valuable. I'll see you boys soon. Stay dangerous.